The president last night revealed whether he plans to fire Robert Mueller after a weekend full of speculation that he could do so before Christmas. Watch.
No, I'm not. No.
But accusations that Mueller wrongfully obtained all those thousands of emails suggest the president's lawyers could be laying the groundwork for a strategy to get rid of the special counsel. So do they have a case? Fox News senior judicial analyst joins me now, Judge Andrew Napolitano, taking the case. Welcome back.
Always a pleasure.
So it's disconcerting to hear that perhaps there was some overreach in obtaining these thousands and thousands of emails. How did Robert Mueller's team get them? And is there something here that deserves more scrutiny?
It's disconcerting to hear allegations of overreach when there was none.
Okay.
There was no overreach.
That's fair.
So a couple of basics. Robert Mueller can't subpoena anything. Only a grand jury can.
Yes.
And in order to get a grand jury subpoena, somebody working for Mueller, an FBI agent or a federal prosecutor, has to actually testify under oath about why they need what they need.
But some of the emails that the FBI has used and the special counsel has used to interrogate people part of this investigation, like Michael Flynn, they don't come necessarily from subpoenas. These are emails that they have, perhaps because of the way they obtained them through FISA.
Not the emails that we're talking about.
Yes.
The emails that we're talking about, which
the
are
GSA emails that we're learning about this weekend, that's different than the emails that were obtained by the team in order to question Flynn.
Two different issues here.
Yes.
General Flynn was questioned on the basis of transcripts of a conversation, 5 conversations that he had with Ambassador Kislyak, really KGB Colonel Kislyak, masquerading as the U.S. ambassador.
Yeah.
So the FBI knew what he had said to Kislyak, and Kislyak had said to him at the time they interrogated him. The complaint this weekend is that Bob Mueller somehow inappropriately obtained documents from the GSA that really belonged to the transition team. So when a grand jury subpoenas...
But that's a valid question, isn't it? Are these private emails?
Doesn't matter. The grand jury can subpoena anything it wants. It is the duty of the custodian of the documents, doctor, lawyer, banker, or GSA, to inform the owner of the documents that a subpoena has arrived. That's where the GSA dropped the ball, not Bob Mueller. So it's the duty of the GSA to tell the transition team, there are FBI agents here with a subpoena. We're going to comply in 10 days. You can take a copy of the subpoena, go to the judge supervising the grand jury, and challenge it if you want.
Yeah.
But when the GSA fails to do that, it will be just like the FBI wanting your bank records and your bank failing to give you an opportunity to challenge what the FBI presented. It is the GSA's fault, and in my hypothetical, your bank's fault. This is not a search warrant where they come and grab immediately. This is a subpoena where the custodian of the documents, here the GSA, has 10 days to 2 weeks to gather the documents and surrender.
All right, so the Trump transition team is saying that we were caught flat-footed. We had no way to appropriately respond to this. Do they have a claim here, or is this just about protecting the president, making an interesting story much, much bigger in order to get rid of Mueller? Is that the ultimate goal here?
I don't know what the goal is. I really never heard of this lawyer who was representing not even the Trump transition team, which doesn't exist anymore, but the trustee of the transition. The transition went out of business at the moment Donald Trump was inaugurated. I honestly think that the writer of the letter, and I don't want to defame him, is unfamiliar with the way criminal procedure works. Grand jury subpoenas, custodian of documents. Custodian of documents tells the owner of the documents, the FBI is here, we're going to comply in 10 days unless you get a judge to interfere. That didn't happen. So if the transition, or what remains of it, has a beef, the beef is with the GSA that failed to tell them. Now, there's an underlying story here, which you mentioned earlier with General Flynn. Bob Mueller's team has already interviewed everybody in the West Wing they want to talk to. For sure, those people did not know at the time of those interviews that the interviewers had seen their emails. Were those interviews a perjury trap, as I think the interrogation of General Flynn was the purpose to trap those people, to get them to lie to the FBI so that they could squeeze them for information about the president? It's unfortunate, but that's the way the government works today. It's reprehensible, but that's what it does.
That is reprehensible, though.
Yes.
That seems wrong. I mean, the other thing that troubles me about this, I have no interest in protecting the president. I think that that the office of the presidency has grown too vast and too powerful.
Hear, hear.
I don't have a problem constraining that and calling truth to power. My problem is that surveillance is being misused, and this all goes on for so long and takes so many resources, and there's really no resolution. And it creates such a powerful arm of the government to reach in and get whatever it wants by any means necessary.
I'm going to give you another sleepless night. Until a certain year, and I'm going to leave the blank till the end, it was the obligation of the government to tell you when it was serving a subpoena. So the custodian of the records didn't have to tell you. And then in this certain year, they changed it and the government didn't have to tell you. Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
1986 made it a heck of a lot easier for the feds to prosecute rather than easier for civil liberties to be defended.
Yeah, but we have to always, and I don't care if I sound like a broken record, we have to be mindful of our civil liberties.
Of course we do. Of course we do. Don't rely on prosecutors to be mindful of our civil liberties because they want to win convictions.
And again, I don't think this administration is filled with constitutionalists.
No.
And that's not the point to protect them or the presidency. It's to protect our basic natural rights that are eroded with every...
Right. So look, if every time there's a prosecution or an investigation, we're going to investigate the morals of the prosecutor and the cops who do the investigation, nobody will be prosecuted. Now, I'm saying that as a serious libertarian as you. Don't expect FBI agents to be choir boys. They're not. If they were choir boys, they wouldn't be FBI agents.
Yes, but we're not all criminals.
No, of course not.
And that's how we're treated when they have so much power to do whatever they want in any manner they want to do it.
So Mueller's job is to gather evidence to either indict or dispel.
Okay. All right.
We'll see where he's going. In this case, his procedure was perfectly according to federal practice today.
I mean, but what happens in the end? I can't imagine that Robert Mueller and his team go, well, there's nothing to see here. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Well, they'll either say there's nothing to see with respect to the president, but we've indicted the following people. We know they've indicted some people already, and probably more indictments are coming. Whether there is evidence about the president's involvement, who knows? They're going to save that till the end. This is normally a process that does not take place under a microscope. We ordinarily don't even know it's happening. In the real world, when a person is not indicted, we don't even know that they were investigated. But Jim Comey changed the real world by announcing that there's evidence against Mrs. Clinton, but we're not going to indict her anyway. Probably the same thing will happen here. There's some evidence that he knew some things, but we decided to end it.
I blame Kim Kardashian.
That I have to hear you explain.
We'll have to do it a later date. Thank you so much, Judge.
Nothing like ending with a wild one. Kim Kardashian.
Always start and end with a wild one.
Yes, I knew her father from the O.J. case.
God rest his soul.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Great guy.